Hello everyone, welcome back. I got my seeds in today. As you can see in the rows, basically I got 10 rows here. And I've got, if you look inside the rows here, see the little red seeds. There you go. See all those little red seeds? Those are corn seeds. So what I did is I got the plow blade on the back of the tractor. And what I did is I set it to a very shallow depth, so it would only go down about 2 inches. And what I also did is I tilted it back. So if you look at the plow blade on the back of the tractor, you see how the top is tilted forward. See how the top is tilted forward, and that way the back of the plow blade comes back. Here, I'll lower it a little bit, and you can see when it comes down how it hits the ground. So basically I only got the tip making contact, and basically from that point I let it go down about another 2 inches, and I have a set level, I have a set on my on the handle that controls that, on the controller, so it locks into place. What I did try doing is I bought this little thing here. It's a seeder. I wanted to kind of experiment with this thing. The idea with this is you basically put the seeds in here, and as you roll the wheel, that thing right there, it rotates, it picks up the seed, and it drops them one at a time. And the idea with this is that there's actually a little mini plow. Here's the mini plow that fits on the seeder like that. And basically this kind of does what the plow blade does on the back of the tractor. And under ideal conditions, if you have like really fine soil, almost sandy soil, that would work. I mean, even with all the, if you guys saw the previous videos, all the work that I did into trying to get the roots out of this soil, there's still some roots in there. There's still some rocks in there, and basically that tiny little plow blade, basically it kept getting stuck on little roots and on little rocks, and it basically just kept jamming up on me. So what I did is I just for the hell of it, I took off the little plow attachment altogether, and I was running this through the rows. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I mean, I could pretty much, using a bag, just drop them by hand just as easy. I mean, I paid $100 for that thing, so I'm not too impressed with it. It's gonna go back to the store. I mean, those little hand tools, if you're trying to do volume, it really doesn't work too well. I mean, it's not terrible. It wouldn't be bad if it was, maybe $20 or $30, but for $100, I'm like, I can just drop them just as easily by my hand. I mean, I gotta walk up and down these rows anyway, pushing that thing. It's a lot less effort for me to just drop them, rather than try and roll them through there. So those are my thoughts on that. What I did here is basically my rows end right here on this line. Okay, this is the if I step back a little bit, you can see where the rows basically end, right? Okay, that's the point at which I had, on this line right here, I had cleaned them up. I had been running the plow blade. I had been running that about a foot deep into the ground, pulling out roots, and then I had raked it. And then just for the hell of it, what I did is over here, I extended past with the plow blade, this time, down 2 inches, as if though I was just going to seed. And without all that cleanup work that I had done, you can see the difference. You can see how the soil's all clumped up. You got roots in there. I mean, that's really hard soil to work with, because what's going to happen now is, now that I got these rows, right, and the seeds are, right now the seeds are exposed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rake back on the tractor, and I'm going to set it so it's basically just touching the ground. And now I'm going to basically pull the soil forward and cover up all those seeds. So basically I'm going to be able to bury the seeds with very minimal effort. When I go to do that in this area over here, because it's got that many roots and it's so clumped, what's going to happen is I'm just going to end up dragging all the soil around with me rather than burying the seeds I want to bury. So that's why I did all that work in the prior videos, because I don't want that clumpy mess of roots over there. I want this. I mean, there's a few roots in here, but you know, I'll still be able to run the rake over this and to be able to cover this stuff up without causing too much of a disturbance. Now, one of the things that you can see is if you look between the rows, right? Like I got the rows here. Over here is basically, that's where the, you know, where the tires of the tractor go. Right? You can actually see the tire tracks. Now, because on my tractor, you know, basically I bought this as a utility tractor. I didn't buy it specifically for doing farming work. You know, I bought it more for doing, like, you know, just general stuff. I have thicker tires on it, which basically gives it more traction. But for something like this, what happens is I end up losing a lot of ground, because basically there's about 3 feet from one row, you know, between the rows here. So, you know, maybe even more. There might even be 4 feet between the rows. So basically there's about 4 feet of land that's lost. So that's the reason why on an agricultural tractor, you want the thinnest wheels you can possibly put on it. Now, because you got thin wheels, in order to get any sort of traction, they have to be big. You know, that's why a lot of times on tractors you'll see, you know, wheels that are as tall as like 6 feet tall, but, you know, only like maybe, maybe 6 inches thick. You know, so that's the reason why you see that, because this way you don't lose all this land between the rows, and then you can plant your rows closer together. But hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna basically now put the rake on the back of the tractor and basically bury these seeds, and then they can start growing. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Talk to you guys next time.